Vote for WHPC to be the best radio station on Long Island in the Bethpage Best of Long Island Awards at bestoflongisland.com.
The voice of Nassau Community College.
This is the award-winning 90.3 WHPC HD Garden City.
Listen on your smart speaker.
Play WHPC.
And available on Odyssey, TuneIn, iHeart, and on the WHPC app.
90.3 WHPC.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear.
90.3 WHPC. The Rembrandts, the theme from Friends. Remembering Matthew Perry, who died on, I guess it was on Friday, well, Saturday, this weekend, we'll say. They say he drowned. It's not the way to go. But, hey, he was a funny one, you know. Went through a lot in his life, lots of addictions, and came out on the other side.
Lots of problems.
Yeah, but he made it through.
Had a good life. I mean, even despite, it being over prematurely,
right.
But how many people can say they were on the hit television show for 10 years?
Yep.
Not even a hit television,
No,
it's the hit television show.
It is, it's still playing everywhere, and it's still funny. Even though some people try people try to knock it down because it's not politically correct on some cases today.
That was the thing that I was looking at. I guess it was Saturday or something, whatever day it was. Why is my microphone dipping?
Hold the mic, yeah, hold that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, brother. Just yeah, pull down. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You gotta move the top part.
I'm trying to.
Well, that's the way it is. You gotta tighten it. I don't know, brother.
So anyway,
Tighten everything. My life.
I noticed right after they made the announcement, or right after the news came out, I saw Friends was on every other channel. But then I was like, is that because this happened, or is
it's always on every
it's always on like that?
It's on.
So I was kind of like, I was looking around, I was looking at different channels, and I'm like, no, that's usually on. Yeah, okay, channels, channel this, channel 8, whatever. Yeah, okay, yeah. I think Friends is usually on like at least a couple of these channels, if not three or four of them.
It's on TBS. It's on Nick at Night. It's on.
So it just so
TV
happened.
Land, I think. It's on Channel 11 still.
It just so happened that,
Yep.
that there was a Matthew Perry tribute going on right when the announcement was made that he had passed away.
Yep.
So
sad
news.
Sad thing. Also, before we start the show, brother, I just want to say something.
Could you introduce us, brother?
Oh, no. I'm Rob Leonard. He's Tim Leonard. This is from the Press Box here every Monday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., talking sports. And also, this becomes a podcast later on. So, very important.
Yes.
Anyway, brother, there's one thing I have to talk about before we talk about that disgusting game with the Jets and the Giants. Horrible game. Horrible game.
It was amateur hour for sure.
I've seen high school teams play better. Anyway, I'm watching the Mets commercial.
Uh-huh.
They're promoting this very heavily right now.
What is it?
And it says, it used to be season tickets. Now it's season memberships.
Yeah.
Like you joining a club.
Of course, that's exactly how they want it to feel.
But you're not. A club allows you to go to any time.
You can go to the Mets game anytime.
You got to pay to get in, though.
Well, not if you buy season memberships.
No, you have to buy. It's a 20-game package,
right.
80-game, whatever. You got to only go. You can only go in the time you've paid for. It's not like you can't go there.
You're paying.
Beforehand.
You're paying for privilege, bro. You're paying for membership.
Yeah, well,
I don't understand
it's a
what
limited.
the problem
It's
is.
a limited thing. It only lets you in on certain things.
Well, yeah.
And the other thing that they're selling, which is, is such a cheap shot. Instead of showing people like us who can actually afford tickets, they're showing kids They want the parents to bring their
can't
kids.
afford- Kids can't afford.
Yeah,
tickets.
you're going to pay $100 for your kid for 80 games. Kid's not going to go for 80 games.
I don't know that they're necessarily selling the idea of buying the kid a season ticket. I think for that they just want to plant the seed to have have daddy and mommy.
Literally
think about
every
buying.
shot is kids having fun.
Well, yeah, because it's,
and a lot of it's not watching the game. They have them playing, t-ball. They have them running the bases.
right.
Everything.
Activities at Met games.
Yeah, but
For the whole family.
Yeah, well, they'd watch the game. That's why they put the netting up everywhere, because kids stop watching the games and they get hit in the head.
That's the adults who stop watching it.
Well,
They're on their phones, and
well, that's part of it, too.
Then all of a sudden, here comes the baseball, and baseballs travel very quickly, brother.
Oh, I know. I almost got hit by one.
Well, there you go.
So, but I knew it was coming.
Yeah, and you knew it was coming, and you still almost got hit by it.
Yeah, because I was trying to catch it. That's
Well, that they as the saying goes, brother, baseball coming at you at a baseball game, it's coming in hot.
Yeah. So anyway, I prefer season tickets, unless it's like, if they had some sort of thing like outside of Citi Field, like, you get discounts. I'm sure you do, but
Stan Sports World.
yeah, something where you get a beer or something,
Free plug for Stan.
or free food or something. They don't talk about that. They just talk about the memberships.
Well, let's face it, there's nothing to do outside of Citi Field.
I know.
You would have to walk a considerable distance from either the parking lot or the subway. And
I'm talking about like the Met store. There used to be a Met store at Roosevelt Field. I don't know if it's still there, but there used to be a Met store there.
yeah, but that's nowhere near Citi Field.
Yeah, I know, but at least you go there. Maybe if someone's doing an autograph signing, you get to go to the front of the line or something. Something where it's different. I just don't like.
You want your fandom recognized, bro. That's what you're saying.
If I'm joining as a season member, not a season ticket holder, which is a much different thing.
A different
then yes.
connotation.
Yes.
Although it's basically the same thing.
Yes. Anyway, let's talk about this horrible game that the
It was
Jets.
ugly, brother. It was ugly.
Jets won over the Giants. Maybe the worst game I've ever seen on television. It was just
I don't know about that, but it was ugly.
No, Tim,
it was undoubtedly ugly.
Tim, this was a horrible game.
Yeah, I know. I watched
The
it.
Giants did everything they could to lose and did.
Yeah. Giants.
I hate
Giants
to say
literally
this.
Gave that game away. The Giants should have won the game.
Oh God.
Graham Gano, who is a reliable field goal kicker, missed the field goal in what was it, about a minute left in the game, less than a minute left,
Yeah.
left in the game, and that should have put the game away because it should have given the Giants a 6-point lead.
Right.
And we all know that the Jets, especially yesterday, were having trouble scoring touchdowns. The weather did not help yesterday at all.
No, it was
a pretty
constant
brutal day.
rain. Constant rain. I give New York football fans a big charge, a big hooray, because most of them stayed for the game.
I got to be honest. I felt so bad for the schlubs that were there yesterday.
People did not
sitting
leave.
through that weather,
Yeah.
and enduring between the constant rain and the abysmal football.
Oh.
and the fact that they probably most of the people in attendance paid at least $75 to be there. Never mind the parking fees,
Right.
and traveling to the game and food and beer and whatever. The average person who went there yesterday probably was on the hook for close to $200.
Well, that's why you don't leave. I give them credit though, because easily they could have left several times when you thought the game was over. You're right. The Giants should have had a field goal. It should have been 13-7.
Then the Jets have to score a touchdown.
Right.
And then the task becomes infinitely harder, as opposed to what Zach Wilson did at the end of the game, where he threw his two best passes of the game.
Of the year.
I don't know about the year, but definitely the game.
He
was terrible. He was terrible. The whole game.
But you know what? He was so proud. I saw him afterwards being interviewed, and I saw him just on the sideline. He was so proud he got those two passes. I think he realized this is what I got to do for the rest of the until Aaron Rodgers comes back.
They have to let him.
Yeah, because he
that's
he
Zach
wasn't
Wilson.
thinking. He just went back, threw it, boom.
That's the Zach Wilson the Jets drafted, and that's also the Zach Wilson that the Jets won't allow to play. Because that Zach Wilson is going to make mistakes.
Oh God, yeah.
But you have to that has to come with the package. You have to allow that guy to be the guy you drafted. And the Jets have never done that. And
No.
they've put Zach Wilson in this box, and they've said, all right, we don't want you to make any mistakes. You know, mistakes are the thing that we want to avoid the most. We don't want you to show us the athletic ability that we drafted. We don't want you to show us the arm strength that we drafted. We just want you to play a nice, safe game and manage the offense. Now, that's not the guy they drafted. The guy they drafted is a risk taker. He uses his legs to both gain yardage and to extend plays. He's got a howitzer for an arm. He could throw the ball 60 yards easy if you let him. But the Jets coaches have never encouraged him to throw a pass more than 30 yards.
If that.
Well, but then yesterday, Zach Wilson gets the ball with, I don't even remember, 40-something seconds left. And what does he do?
30 seconds. It was actually 30 seconds.
Well, whatever it was. I mean, but pass to Garrett Wilson, 29 yards. Thank you very much. Nice chunk. Next play, 29 more yards to Alan Lazard over the middle. Lazard goes down. There's 9 seconds left. And I'm thinking about the play from, 2 weeks ago when they got to halftime and they couldn't clock the ball. And I'm like, are they going to be able to do it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And the refs, I think the refs gave him a break because when Wilson clocked the ball, there was a giant on the Jets side of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there was.
And they let him do it, and I think they let him do it because the Giants guy was just trying to be slow. And you can't reward the guy for not allowing the play to happen because he's trying to stall. So they gave him the play with 1 second left. Zerline comes on, kicks the 35-yard field goal. Jets win. Now, I think most people thought the Jets were going to win that game, but the fact of the matter remains...
that was when they tied it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was when they tied it, and then Zerline came on in the overtime. That was the 35.
And
that was 37-yarder for the
and that
the tie.
kick looked like it missed.
Yeah, it did.
I'm watching this. I go, oh my God! And then everyone's jumping up and down, and the refs put their hands up, and I'm like, whoa!
It had some angle to it, brother. It was not straight down the middle. It wasn't. I mean, from what the TV guys said, it snuck inside the goalpost. They never showed the angle from, usually they have the camera on the ground right for the goalpost, but they never even I never saw the replay that showed it actually going inside the goalpost. But
I don't know.
Hey, refs put their arms up. I'm fine with that.
I was very disappointed. I mean, let's talk about something that just first of all, they got one third down play.
We had 24 punts in the game, brother.
And that was because Zach Wilson ran for 18 yards.
Yeah.
They did not get any other third down plays where they turned it into a first down. There was, in the beginning of the fourth quarter, with 14 minutes left, the Jets are down by 3, and it's 4th and 1. And instead of going for it, they punted.
Where was the ball on that one? I don't know.
It was on the 40-yard line. You got to go for it. Yes, you do.
Not really.
Yeah, I do.
No, because nobody's moving the ball. And with that, because the Giants aren't going to score. Tommy DeVito is the quarterback, brother.
You know who Tommy DeVito is? The guy who played Joe Pesci played him in Goodfellas.
Yeah, there you go. So Tommy DeVito, Tommy DeVito is a graduate of Don Bosco Prep.
Okay.
Which is one of the powers of high school football in Bergen County, and is located probably in the neighborhood of 10 miles from MetLife Stadium. And that's that's a real 10 miles. That's not a Mike Tirico 10 miles.
Right.
Where he said that Rutgers was right down the road from MetLife Stadium, which was a joke.
Not even close.
This is a Jersey kid. I'm sure realizing a life dream, never mind when he signed with the Giants, and I'm sure his family was thrilled about that, but now actually playing, and he's played on that field, but he's played at Don Bosco. I'm sure he played at Giant Stadium.
They said he played as a college kid.
Yeah. Oh,
well, maybe it's high school. I don't know. Don Bob, whatever. They said he played
the Jersey State high school championships are played a lot. The bigger school games are played at Giant Stadium.
Yeah.
So as long as Don Bosco made one of those games, he played it.
He did. They said he did.
So, that wouldn't be new for him, but I'm sure he was pumped up at the possibility of playing. But then what happens? They don't really let him throw a pass. He went 2 for 7 for -1 yard.
Yeah, because he threw it sideways, and no one could run with it.
But put it this way. As far as I can tell, Tyrod Taylor is not going to be able to play next week. He's got some kind of rib injury. They took him to the hospital. That's how bad it was.
Right.
Daniel Jones, they said on the broadcast, was probably 2 weeks away. I'm not letting Tommy DeVito start a game for me at quarterback.
At this point, it doesn't matter. They're 2-6, the Giants.
You got to get somebody. This guy, yes, he played at Illinois. Yes, he played Big Ten football. He's not an NFL quarterback.
No, but at this point, like I said, this point, who you get? Who you get this week?
First of all, you need another backup anyway.
Right, that's true. You do.
All right, so you're going to need at least one more guy. Otherwise, you got Saquon Barkley taking direct snaps from the center the rest the entire game and getting killed. I don't think Saquon Barkley wants to carry the ball 45 times next week.
No, he doesn't. But I think he set a record for himself yesterday.
36 carries or whatever for 28 yards, I think it was.
Yeah, not a lot.
No, he had the one big run, and then the rest of it was the Jets' defense basically swallowing him up at the line of scrimmage. Yep. The Giants did rush for 203 yards yesterday, but their net passing yardage was -9 yards.
Well, they didn't pass.
Tyrod Taylor was 4 for 7 for 8 yards. DeVito 2 for 7 for -1. Yeah,
and they finally let him
yardage and whatnot.
They finally. I felt bad for him because they finally let him pass, and he's at the 5-yard line. At least if
Tyrod?
No, DeVito.
DeVito.
He's thrown to the side. They're like, just throw it to the side, get it out of here.
Well, the funniest part to me was, here's DeVito. They actually put a drive together, a little bit of a mini drive, and they got the ball at the 5-yard line or whatever, 4-yard line, 5-yard line.
Right.
DeVito fakes the handoff to Saquon.
Right, and then runs.
The entire Jets defense goes to Saquon, and DeVito takes off on a little keeper bootleg to the left. There was not one single person aside from his family in the stands looking at him when he made that run.
Yeah, well.
The Jets defense completely ignored him because there was no way that was going to happen. And then there's DeVito walking into the end zone untouched. And I was like, oh, my God. It was a great play. Great play call by Nate Hackett because I'm sure he knew – or not Nate Hackett. I'm sorry. That's the Jets offensive coordinator. But it was a great play call by the Giants to get a touchdown, an easy touchdown, let's say. Yeah. Because Saquon would have had to bash through 10 guys to get to the end zone. And here's boom. Now we got a 10-7 lead in a game that it was disgusting. It was gross. Grotesque.
It's the funny thing about it was intriguing at the same time because it was so bad. It was just bad.
To me, it lost the intrigue because it was so bad.
Wow,
that was the problem. I wanted to see one. Both of these teams have showed moments or periods of competence this season.
Yeah,
the Jets have beaten the Bills. They beat the Eagles. They're coming off of a good game. The Giants won a game that they weren't supposed to win the week before.
Yeah.
So you had moments, and yesterday it was like let's see which team can outcrap the other one.
Well,
because
also
they were terrible.
And one thing that bothers me, and I know you're going to disagree with me, when the Giants ran the clock down to 30 seconds and then went for the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're going to say, "Oh, that's what you do."
That's what you do.
I think that's one of the reasons they lost.
Well, because they expected to make the kick. They have a good kicker.
Right.
Graham Gano is one of the best kickers in the NFL.
But it didn't work. He
should not be missing a 35, 40-yard field goal, whatever the hell it was.
If, let's say they did it the 1-minute thing, maybe the pressure of that 30 seconds would have not been there, and maybe he would have had less pressure
Graham
on
Gano
him.
doesn't feel pressure.
To make the kick. He didn't make it, so it didn't matter.
Well, because I attribute that to the ground, to the weather, to... it wasn't optimal kicking conditions.
I know that.
The ground was still soaking wet.
I don't wait. I like to, if you have a minute left, let the other team make the move.
What move are you talking about, bro?
Have to score.
Well, they ran the clock down as much as they could,
right,
with the expectation that Gano would make the kick, and then the Jets would have 30 seconds or whatever, and would need to score a touchdown.
Right.
That's the right call. I can't kill Dable for that.
Like I said, to me, it's when it's 3rd and 1, and you go for the 4th, or 4th and 1. I'm sorry, you go for it. To me, at this point, especially in the 4th quarter, you go for it. Give it a shot.
The reason they don't, and I'm not going to say it's a good reason, but it's a reason that makes sense.
Football's analytics.
Is because if something happens on the 3rd down, let's and especially yesterday in rainy conditions, wet ball, let's say the snap gets screwed up somehow.
Right.
Well, now you still got another chance to kick it.
Yeah.
You know, if the snap comes to the holder and the holder botches it, oh no, we can't kick. Cover the ball as long as they recover it, of course, and cover the ball, and we'll just try it again. It'll be 10 yards back, but at least we still can try.
Right.
It's not one play be all end all, and if we somehow manage to screw this up, we're done. It's the ball goes to the other team. That's why coaches will kick on a 3rd down or even a 1st down. So whatever it is,
right?
You know, there is a second chance built into that situation if something goes wrong. And let's face it, the chances of a botched snap in that situation are minimal. But especially yesterday with the weather and the conditions the way they were, it was a possibility. So I'm not going to kill Coach Dable for that because Gano is a guy who you expect to make a kick. It wasn't a 50-something yarder.
No,
it wasn't such a ridiculous length where you say, well, you know, this certainly isn't automatic. That kick should have been automatic, and he missed. And Gano's got to take the hit for that. But I'm not going to sit here and kill Dable for a decision that every other coach in the National Football League would have made yesterday. They would have made the same call. So it was just bad luck. And that's the kind of luck that the Giants have had all season.
Bad luck.
Yeah. So I was encouraged by Saquon carrying the ball as much as he did yesterday. I didn't like seeing him get beat up as much as he got beat up, but you know, this is what the Giants are going to have to do. And I don't know who they're going to sign because, like I said, Daniel Jones, they said on the broadcast yesterday that the issue with his neck is a disc issue. And that's what happened to him 2 years ago,
right? When
he missed, what was it, the last 7 games or whatever it was?
I think it was 6.
It could have been 6, but, I mean, his season was done. And if it's a disc issue and it's back, that could be something that necessitates surgery at some point. Because if it's the same disc, that's a problem. That means there's instability in that area.
Hey, anytime you hurt your neck in football, it's going to be hard.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's an issue. But if you know, I need to see more, or I need more information about Taylor and what's going on with his ribs, because it seems to me, and I'm guessing, but I would say it's probably something to do with ligaments or obliques, or not necessarily a cracked rib, but...
Well, they said he remained in the hospital overnight.
Yeah, so that means it's serious.
Well, that means they're making sure that he's okay.
Well, that too, but I'm saying that's a serious injury. It's not just a bruise. If it was a bruise, they'd put a flak jacket on him and say, all right, he's going to be ready for next week. Him staying overnight in the hospital tells me it's a fairly serious injury, and it means that his mobility, his ability to move and turn and throw is impaired in some way. And it's only 6 more days till Sunday. Those injuries don't heal quickly with the ribs. Because everything in your core relies on being able to move. And if something is damaged in there, he's going to feel it every time he breathes. Never mind trying to drop back to pass or throw a ball or avoid a rush. You know, he could be out a couple of weeks at least, if not more.
Definitely. You know, I just, it was a bad game. Good for the Jets. They're 4-3.
Nobody would have expected this, brother.
Not us.
Not us. No way. And I'll tell you what, Zach Wilson, his numbers I wrote them down here. 17 for 36 for 240 yards.
Not that good.
Which you know what? You look at the numbers and you say, not really that good a game. But then you look at the Giants quarterbacks.
Yeah, well.
And Zach Wilson all of a sudden turns into Joe Montana yesterday.
Yeah, but he if you take away those 2 last minute
58 yards.
Yeah.
2 for 2 for 58.
Okay, so then
He got him there. But you see, this is why I can't kill the kid. Because did he have a good game yesterday? No, he didn't.
Had a horrible
Absolutely
game.
not.
Horrible.
But conditions were a factor.
Yes.
All
yes,
right.
It was raining. It wasn't just little rain. It was giant. You could see the drops
Exactly.
on the field when it was raining.
Exactly. But conditions were a factor, and let's face it, he got it done. The Jets came out of an ugly game with a W. And for everybody who wants to kill Zach Wilson, they don't care about the W. They just want to jump on this kid and pile on. I don't care.
Well,
he got us a W. Plain and simple.
If very close not to getting the W. Then,
yeah, he did, no doubt.
So that's how you judge it. Is what Coach Parcells said: a win is a win. Is that what was the exact?
Coach Parcells said, "You are what your record says you are."
Oh, that's right.
I mean, I think every coach in history has said a win is a win, but that's
they'll
the point.
take it. They'll take. The
Oh
win.
yeah, of course.
You know,
there's not a professional athlete alive who won't take the ugly win over the pretty loss.
You know, there's also 2-6, brother. Besides the New York Football Giants,
Probably the Patriots. No,
Patriots. The New England Patriots are 2-6.
they suck.
Your boy Croce, brother.
Oh, forget it. He's already on hockey season. He jumps off a bandwagon faster than any human alive.
Okay. For those who don't know, Croce is Timmy's buddy up in Boston.
Jumps off a bandwagon. I mean, he's a guy who on April 29th, he's ready to. Red Sox. No, baseball season's over.
Well, it was
April 29th. He's done.
Yep.
Then he's talking about, we're going to see Springsteen concert in Fenway Park. And we're like, well, Cross, what about baseball at Fenway Park?
Anyway, so bad game. I don't call it bad. I just call it a bad game to watch over the thing because it was just like you're almost laughing, but it's as a sad laugh,
Yeah,
brother.
but there were moments like the Brees Hall touchdown. That was beautiful.
That was.
Zach Wilson didn't do a whole lot on that. He just dumped a pass to Brees Hall in the right flat. I mean, he probably threw it like 6 yards total, and then Brees Hall just kind of motored down the right sideline. 8 Giants around him. Didn't look like anybody actually wanted to tackle him.
And
though.
by the way, Tommy DeVito. I don't know if any of the announcers caught the fact that Tommy DeVito is Joe Pesci from
I don't think so.
Goodfellas.
I didn't remember hearing any Goodfellas references.
Okay, because I would have had a whole bunch of references, but the funny thing about it is the real Tommy DeVito or Tommy whatever.
Yes.
Tommy DeVito was like a big guy, and Joe Pesci's a small guy.
Right.
They just cast him.
It's casting.
Tommy DeVito is actually a guy from the Four Seasons.
Yes.
That's where I get the name from.
Tommy DeVito, the football player, is a fairly big guy.
Yeah, 6'2".
Yeah, there you go.
So anyway,
But the Giants, they need to sign a quarterback.
Well, they will. We just don't know who will be.
I don't know who that's going to be.
Who's available? That's
Colin Kaepernick's available.
Yeah, well.
I'll tell you what. After what I saw from Tommy DeVito yesterday, I'm giving Cap a shot. How much worse could it get?
I agree.
If you're not going to let the guy throw the ball anyway, then give me the guy with the legs. Even though his legs are getting old, but his Kaepernick hasn't used his legs in 4 or 5 years, so he's going to be fresh.
I would
turn him loose.
I would hire him, but he's a persona non grata.
Even if it's just for a game or two.
Right.
Because like I said, Daniel Jones, as they said, is going to be back in a couple of weeks. But if he's not back this week and Tyrod Taylor's not back this week, then
we're not sure of that, brother.
Well, I'll tell you what. The Giants are going to need somebody. I don't know who are the Giants playing this week, brother. Check that out. But they need somebody to start this game. Tommy DeVito shouldn't be starting this game.
No. Next week at the Raiders, Las Vegas.
So say, hey, get somebody in there who wants to take a trip to Vegas. Just make sure whoever you sign doesn't get arrested when they get to Vegas.
What happens in Vegas is going to stay.
Like I said, just whoever gets there, just make sure they don't party too hard and they don't get arrested in Vegas so they can actually play.
And the Jets are playing the Chargers.
That's trouble.
That's a night game.
Chargers are looking good.
That's Monday Night Football.
It still irks me, brother.
That's a home game too.
Justin Herbert could have been the Jets quarterback. We would have to go back like 5 years in the whole chain of events, but Justin Herbert could have been the Jets quarterback.
Okay. Well,
It just kills me.
well, it
Kills me
happens.
how close that was to happening.
Anyway, we're going to take a break right now. You're listening to From the Press Box here on 90.3 WHPC. I'm Rob Leonard. He's Tim Leonard. If you have any comments or questions, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. 516-572-7440.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by United Auto Body, located at 275 East Merrick Road in Valley Stream. United Auto Body specializes in auto body repairs and insurance claims adjustments. Professional tow truck services are also available. Open 6 days a week, closed Sundays. More information is available at 516-825-1330. That's 516-825-1330. Or online at UnitedAutoBodyInc.com.
Okay. Yo.
Tell your friends about the Nassau Morning Madhouse. Hear what you're missing.
Check it out. Check it out.
Where is a place that you think you should ban children?
My pediatrician's office.
But that's like...
Isn't that like...
Yeah, isn't that like 4 kids?
As a 22-year-old who still sees the pediatrician, I kind of feel a little awkward when I'm sitting in the waiting room next to a newborn baby.
The only thing that I get upset about is that they don't offer me lollipops at the end.
That's the worst part. I don't get stickers anymore.
Yo, give me the like cool Band-Aids. Don't give me the adult Band-Aids.
Yeah, no. They're like no sticker for you.
Stick it somewhere else then.
Yeah, stick it up my butt.
That was very aggressive.
They're the pediatrics, not the gynecologist.
Oh, different hole, my dude.
Anyway.
The Nassau Morning Madhouse. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9. On the voice of Nassau Community College.
90.3 WHPC.
.3 WHPC. No, you got to do it right here. I love that. You know how much the Rembrandts made from this song?
Far too much.
They didn't even write it.
There you go.
Well, I think maybe there's credit. There's like 7 credits on the song. So it's like, everyone got a share. So, but I'm not sure how it all works.
As they should have.
As they all should. Anyway, you're listening to From the Press Box right here on 90.3 WHPC. My name is Rob Leonard. He is Tim Leonard. 516-572-7440. Just a reminder, if you're a fan of the music of Billy Joel, then listen up. WHPC welcomes Mike Del Judas to Mulcahy's in Wantor this Thanksgiving weekend. Listen all week to win your way in and get a bonus chance to win right now by clicking the Win Tickets button on the WHPC app. So go grab the app, open it, and enter to win right now. Right here on WHPC. Anyway, let's continue our show, brother.
I would like to say, brother, before we get off the football.
Yes. Hurry up.
Kayvon Thibodeau yesterday.
What about him? He played a great game.
This was why the Giants drafted him.
He was very good.
He first of all, he got a strip sack in the first quarter. Got to Zach Wilson, sack, fumble, Giants recover, set up their first field goal, and he was in the backfield all day. Now, I don't know what that says about Mekhi Becton, because Mekhi Becton was supposed to be blocking Kayvon Thibodeau, but he had what I thought was by far his best game as a pro, and that was the guy the Giants drafted who hasn't shown up nearly enough.
Right.
And we talked about this a little bit last week between Thibodeau and Evan Neal. And Evan Neal still looks like a rotating door on the line. I mean, it's ridiculous how bad he's been. But that was the guy, a destroyer of plays, a sacker of the quarterback. That guy showed up yesterday. So we'll see what it is going forward, because the Jets' line is not very good. But it was nice to see Kayvon Thibodeau play like we thought he could.
Right. I agree. Let's talk about the World Series. Diamondbacks and Rangers are tied at 1-1. There was no game yesterday because of all the football. Though, if you look at Saturday, there is so much college football on. It's scary. I mean, literally every channel has some, whether it's Division III football or whatever. Or there's a
Flip
game
through your
somewhere.
channels. Flip through your channels. 2 college football, 4 college football, 5 college
everywhere.
football, 7 college football, 8 college football. It's ridiculous. It's nonstop.
Yeah,
And I'm not that big a fan of college football.
I'm not either. But this is why Coach Prime, as they're calling him,
I hate that.
is like the big story, because he stands out in this mud pile of all these college games. So that's why everyone's like on his. What's Coach? I hate Coach Prime. Call him Dion. Coach Dion.
I hate the name. I like Dion, the personality.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'll even say I like him as a coach. But the whole Coach Prime thing, come on.
Well, he stays around.
It's not your name.
No, he stays in Colorado as long as his son's there, and then once his son graduates, maybe he leaves.
Well, I mean, he's still obviously the program still has a lot of work to do.
It does, but it's already selling stuff like shirts and all this other stuff.
Yeah, but that's not why he's there.
No, but that helps.
It helps. Yeah, I'm not going to
school.
say it doesn't help, because obviously it does. It helps make the program money, but his job is to make the program successful.
Right.
And successful, like making more merchandise sales. That's not the success that they're looking for.
No, but it certainly helps.
Although the university president, I'm sure, is fine with if merchandise sales double and the team winds up going, let's say, 6-6.
Yes.
I'm sure the university president would be thrilled.
Yeah.
It's like, get us to a bowl game and sell tens of millions of dollars in merchandise, and the university president is thrilled. He doesn't need to win a Rose Bowl or anything.
No.
He doesn't need to get to college football playoffs, although I'm sure that's what Dion wants to do. But, yeah, I mean, that team, they need a line desperately.
Right.
I mean, his son is getting destroyed out there. Apparently his son had to take a painkiller shot last week.
Wow.
He's gotten sacked more than any quarterback in Division I.
Wow.
So
thanks, Dad.
Time for a new line. Well, that's what Dion said. Dion said, "Oh, we got to go out and get a new line." It's like, all right, well, if I'm playing line for this guy and protecting his son, and that's the comment that my coach makes in the paper or makes in the press conference, I'm like, yeah, dude, huh?
Yeah. So anyway, the game, 1-1. Another game. Game 3 is tonight for the World Series. Like we talked about last week, there's no energy with this World Series. Oh,
no, there is.
A 9-1 game is okay.
I mean, that was a butt kick, and Game 1 was a good game.
Game 1 was. I agree.
I mean, Corey Seager hits a home run in the 9th inning to tie it for the Rangers, and then Adolis Garcia, who has been the hottest baseball player on the planet ever since the postseason started. I mean, this guy is a good player, but he's been otherworldly. 22 RBIs in the postseason. He's hit more home runs than anybody in the postseason. He's just completely lifted his game to a level he's never reached before. So, I mean, he's basically been carrying the Rangers in a lot of ways. So, and the pitching has been pretty good. I don't know who's. Jordan Montgomery started Game 2, and I had a feeling that wasn't going to go well because Montgomery pitched 2 1/3 innings in Game 7 in the ALCS.
Right.
And, I mean, I admire the kid's guts for going out there and saying, look, whatever we got to do to get to the World Series, I'm willing to do.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, but you had to know that was going to impact his next start. It's not normal for a pitcher to start a game, pitch a couple of innings 2 days or 3 days later, and then start the next game 2 days after that. I mean, it's too much. The only pitchers who I've seen be able to do that are just the real bulldogs of the game. Randy Johnson got away with it. Somebody like that. Jordan Montgomery's not that guy.
No.
Now, that being said, I'm not going to say anything bad about Jordan Montgomery because all he has done since the Yankees traded him to the Cardinals for Harrison Bader is make Brian Cashman look like an idiot. Cashman said Cashman made that trade. His quote after that trade was made was that they didn't think that Jordan Montgomery could pitch in the postseason, so that's why they saw him as expendable.
It's funny, brother. In the old days, you would never even think of calling Brian Cashman an idiot or a jerk or.
He keeps making bad trades, and he keeps. I don't know why some of the trades that the Yankees make. I'm not going to get too far off topic here because we are talking about the World Series. But you look at some of the trades that they've made, and you wonder what in the hell they're thinking. I mean, the Joey Gallo trade, do I know what they were thinking? Yes, they wanted power. But Joey Gallo can't hit. His on-base percentage isn't atrocious, but he's basically a home run or a walk or a strikeout. And the Yankees have never played that 3-result game.
No, that's not what.
And those are Harrison Bader they traded because they wanted better defense in center field. Okay, I can live with that, but Bader was hurt so often. He would get healthy, he'd play for a week or two, and then he'd get hurt again and he'd be out for 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
So at some point you have to say, all right, this guy can't get it done for us because as the saying goes, brother, the biggest ability for a professional athlete is availability, and if you're not out on the field, and this is what's been going on with Mike Trout for the last few years. Mike Trout's a great player, but if he's only going to play 90 games a year, what good is he?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, I'm not absolutely nothing. He's really good for 90 games, but you need to be available for 160 games.
We should say that Max Scherzer is starting for the Rangers tonight, Game 3.
Cross your fingers, people. No. Met fans probably want him to do bad, but
No, I want him to do good. I'm not going to blame him for what happened.
He's got a cut on his thumb.
Okay.
That apparently is like off on the side, but expect the training staff of the Texas Rangers to probably super glue that shut.
Yeah.
He's just going to go. He's going to go as long as he can. It wouldn't surprise me if we see some blood on his finger tonight, depending on how long he goes. But they're going to be checking that in between innings, and I'm sure it's going to be monitored very closely. So it's not going to be. I'm trying to remember who was the pitcher. This was
Kurt Schilling?
No, not him with his fake blood. There was a pitcher who had a blister and was actually bleeding on the mound. And I think it might have been during the World Series. I think it was Trevor Bauer.
Right.
Because he cut himself with a drone. And he tried to say it was nothing, it's nothing, and he was literally dripping blood from his pitching finger as he was on the mound in a playoff game. And they finally, Terry Francona came out and was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, this is a mess. Get off the mound. Like, why didn't you tell us what was going on?
Because that's what you do. You keep playing.
But, you can't bleed on the ball. So they had to get him out of there. And that was it was ridiculous. But I don't think we're going to run into that tonight because, like I said, where the cut is off, kind of off to the side next to the nail.
Yeah.
That's what I read. And that's not really going to impact throwing the ball very much. It's just a matter he's got to build up the callus a little bit more because he hasn't pitched very much lately, but Max Scherzer. He's been out for about a month.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens with him.
But Merrill Kelly in Game 2, phenomenal. 7 innings, a run on 3 hits. He was dominant. The Rangers, who have been hitting very well in the postseason, were able to do nothing against him. And that, by the way, Merrill Kelly, a bad trade by the Schwammies a few years ago.
Who were the Schwammies, Tim?
The Schwammies, my rotisserie team.
Yes, of course.
We had Merrill Kelly.
Yeah,
we had him and traded him.
If we only did a show on that too, brother.
We had him and traded him.
Yes. Anyway,
not our best deal.
One thing about what's going on this year is some people don't like what's happening with the new playoff format. Of course, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred loves it, of course.
Of course. He loves everything.
Him and Roger. What's the guy? I'm thinking. Who's the NFL commissioner? Roger
Goodell.
I was thinking Federer. Federer.
He's not the NFL commissioner.
And Gary Bettman and Adam Silver seems like the only cool one around out of the 4. And who's the guy who runs MLS?
Don Garber.
Another moron.
No.
Yes.
Don Garber's a good guy.
No.
Why are you calling him a moron?
Because
you don't even know.
How many teams in MLS are named FC?
I don't know. I'd have to look. What's wrong with that? That's your biggest complaint? That means the guy's doing a good job.
It's also the playoffs are in November.
The playoffs are right now.
Yeah, I know. But they're going to end in November.
FC Cincinnati destroyed the Red Bulls yesterday, 3-0.
Yeah, well.
Not a good. And now they have another game next week, and the Red Bulls season has 1 week left on it, people.
Yeah, okay.
Just, And no, but the obviously a lot of people are concerned with the baseball playoffs in that winning your division is supposed to count for something and it's supposed to give you some sort of an advantage. Obviously, we saw with the Braves and the Dodgers and the Baltimore Orioles, I mean, division winners did not advance in the postseason. We have two wild card teams in the World Series, and not just two wild card teams, but like two of the last wild card teams that were able to advance. So Tony Clark, who is the players rep, the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association, he wants to see, and I want to see it too, that winning the division should not hurt a team. And for the last 2 years of the playoffs, it has hurt teams.
Right, because they wait too long.
Because they wind up not playing for like 5 days. And, having a day or two off isn't bad. But when you have 5 days off and the team that you wind up playing in the next round is continuing to play and they don't lose their timing and they're not, they don't.
And also, what happens is they're on a roll.
Well, it's momentum is part of it, but it's just the routine of playing a game every day, which is what they do for 162 games during a year. These guys have like basically like 1 day off a week, maybe 1 day off every 2 weeks, so it's an everyday thing. And when you give baseball players 5 days off, it really is. It's jarring to the system. It's not what they're used to.
No,
I mean, all you have to do is look as far as the Braves. The Braves have been one of the best teams in baseball for the last 2 years. They haven't done anything in the playoffs at all. Dodgers are the same way.
I'm not too upset about the Braves, brother.
Yeah, I know you're not, brother. But put your bias aside, and like Manfred was pushing back on the whole thing, saying that he enjoys the beauty of unpredictability in October.
Yeah,
which that's just commissioner crap. I mean, come on.
They have to take courses. I mean, Bettman's the best one at the crap, but Federer. Goodell is also. I don't know why I keep calling him that, but Goodell also has it to an extent. They all do.
Yeah. I mean, but the Astros were the only division winner who made it to the League Championship Series. The Diamondbacks and the Phillies are both wild card teams.
But then again, the other side of that coin is that why shouldn't a team on a roll continue?
Well, but I think you have to find a way to not have the division winners sit for 5 days. There's got to be a way to allow them to play and continue, and not just say, all right, guys, we'll see you next week. I mean, I agree with that. They got to figure out a way to get it done.
But I don't know how you do it.
I don't either.
Unless you just add 2 more teams, have 8 teams and 4.
I don't know.
I don't know how you do it. But anyway,
hopefully they figure it out. And brother, the big free agent name, who apparently is getting more expensive without even negotiating, is the Japanese pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Sorry.
Okay.
Somehow his price tag keeps going up, and nobody is even talking to him yet. But now the word is that it's going to take $200 million over anywhere from 6 to 7, maybe 8 years. I don't even think it's going to be 8 years because that's $25 million a year. I think he's going to get more than that. But how do you make that kind of commitment to a guy who's never pitched in Major League Baseball? Granted, the guy's put up incredible numbers in the Japanese league, but he's never pitched here. How do you give a guy who's never pitched in Major League Baseball $30 million a year?
I agree.
And especially for those number of years.
And if you give it to him, then it raises everyone else's.
Well, I mean, the Mets gave Kodai Senga 5 years, $75 million, and it turned into one of the best bargains of the free agency last year. And I remember saying that if Senga is a decent pitcher, then the Mets just got a bargain. Because it's $15 million. They were giving Verlander $40 million, whatever it was,
right,
for 3 years. Each year for 3 years. And here's Senga, and it was just like a little quiet signing. Oh, okay, the Mets signed this guy, Kodai Senga. He's got a ghost fork, whatever, pitch. Okay, yeah, sounds kind of cool. And he turned into the Mets' best pitcher last year by far. So they got a bargain for the next 4 years with him. The next Japanese pitcher isn't going to be a bargain.
No,
it's gonna cost whoever gets him. It might not be the Mets. Maybe it's the Yankees. Maybe it's the Red Sox. Who knows?
I think it's Los Angeles. I think it's the Dodgers.
Could be. They need pitchers. They had a lot of pitching injuries this year. But the Dodgers, Walker Buehler's coming back. Gonsolin is out with Tommy John for next year. Julio Urias was smacking his wife around, so who knows what's going to happen with him with suspension. Yes, allegedly, but for the second time. And Kershaw, I don't know what Kershaw's deal is going to be. And Dustin May had Tommy.
Okay.
The Dodgers have a lot of pitching issues, but who knows? Are they going to spend that kind of money? I don't know.
I don't think so. Anyway, the NBA season has started. The Knicks are 1-2. Not great.
No.
But it's just starting. So, and the Brooklyn Nets are 0-2. So, the Atlantic Division. This. I'd like to say this could be the next year, but I can't say that very
the highest I can
confidently.
Highest I can see the Knicks finishing is fourth in the Atlantic or in the Eastern Conference.
That wouldn't be bad. I would take that.
To me, that's optimistic. I still want to know what's going on with Joel Embiid. I saw one mock trade proposal that I thought was insane. The Knicks were giving up their best three players. Outside of Brunson, it was Randall, Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, and Quickly.
No,
and Quickly. This is the story. This is a decent sized story that really has gotten no play. Was that Quickly? His deadline for signing an extension was last week. In fact, it should have happened a couple hours after last week's show ended. But the Knicks didn't sign him to the extension. So now, after this season, Quickly, who has turned into a nice little player for the Knicks, he's very, very. I mean, he scares the hell out of me whenever he's in there, because he just does whatever he wants to do. He's crazy with the ball, and he is a risk waiting to happen. But more often than not, it seems like he gets it done. He averaged almost 15 points a game last year. I'll take that all day.
I'll take that.
But how much money did he want, and what kind of contract did he want?
I don't know.
Did he want $30 million a year? He's not worth $30 million a year.
No, but he might think he's worth $30 million.
But so the Knicks, he'll be a restricted free agent after the season, which means the Knicks can match any offers that he gets. But when teams get a player like that, when teams want to sign it, they usually tend to sign him to like some kind of balloon contract where they give him $35 million in the first season and then $10 million in the next, and it prevents his original team from matching because that first payment is so insane that it blows their salary cap out of the water. So they can't fit him in there. So I don't know what's going to happen with Quickly. I don't know if he's going to be part of a trade. But like I said, the Knicks were getting Embiid, but the only guy who was going to be left to play with him was Jalen Brunson. And all those Villanova guys, Josh Hart and
right.
Archie DiVincenzo, whatever. So I don't know how much better that makes the Knicks if you're trading Randall and Barrett and Quickly and well, now you got Brunson and Embiid, but does that mean that when Luka Doncic becomes a free agent, because now Giannis is signed for another 3 years. He's going to be playing. He's going to be partners with Damian Lillard for the next 3 years. So he's not available. So now Luka Doncic is going to be the only big name free agent that the Knicks can go after.
Right.
And they still got a ton of draft picks to trade if somebody wants to do that kind of a trade. But who's going to be the guy? So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work or what's going to happen. But I would like to see. The Knicks team, as it's constructed, is nowhere near a title contender.
No,
they're a good team.
They're a good team, though.
They'll play good basketball. They might get to 50 wins, but
you know what?
They're not a contender.
50 wins would be very nice for the Knicks.
Oh yeah, it's competence. The Knicks in the last 15 years or so haven't shown a whole lot of competence.
No, 50 wins is more than competence.
It's a good season.
It's a very good season.
It's a pretty good season
for the Knicks.
Well, for the Knicks, now you're now you're
well, yeah.
Now you're hedging it.
I am hedging it.
Let's say 50 wins is 9 games over 500. It's not a great season. It's a good season.
Okay, 55 wins.
55. The Knicks won't get 55 wins. They're not that good.
Okay. Let's quickly talk about the Islanders. They're, I don't know what they're doing.
They're doing all right. 4-2. They were just in Columbus. Semyon Varlamov, 35 shots for a shutout. His 39th career shutout. I didn't realize he was that old. But the Islanders beat the Blue Jackets 2-0. Second straight win. First win on the road. Kyle Palmieri and Matt Martin scored the goals. 35 saves. That's a nice shutout. That's your working.
That is.
Palmieri scored on a rebound in the first period. He now has a point in each of his last 3 games. And Matt Martin got his first goal of the season with a little more than 3 minutes left in the game. So the Islanders put one together. They play the Detroit Red Wings tonight. So it's been a good start to the season.
Yeah, they're 4-2-1.
It's not great, but you know what? It's better than it was last season.
Right, and guess who's in first and second? Rangers and the Devils.
Yeah, well, there you go. Not much has changed since last season.
But the Islanders are only 3 points behind the Rangers. So
yeah, and they have at least a game in hand.
They have 1 game in hand.
Yeah, so they're right in the mix.
Yeah, so that's not so bad. I think, imagine you have the 3 New York teams, the top 3 teams in the Metropolitan Division.
It's unlikely, but it's possible.
That'd be fantastic.
Oh, it would be. It would be fun.
We haven't seen that ever.
Well, I mean, we kind of saw it a little bit last year for a little while. When the Islanders were playing well in the middle of the season, they were all bunched together at the top, and then the Islanders fell off a little bit and started losing some games and kind of snuck into the playoffs, whereas the Rangers and the Devils were clearly playoff teams, and the Islanders were sort of a playoff team.
And what's happening with Tottenham, brother?
Tottenham is top of the table, brother.
Top of the table?
Top of the table. That's how the Brits say first place.
Okay.
Last week, we were in attendance watching on the TV.
That's why they won, right?
At a local establishment, we'll say. And that was a victory. And then on Friday, Tottenham defeated Crystal Palace 2-1. The one goal was a disgusting, horrific decision that never should have happened, because the Crystal Palace player played the ball off his arm, which was a handball, and got the ball down and then shot and scored. I don't know why the goal wasn't waved off, but whatever. Manchester City defeated Manchester United 3-0, and Arsenal destroyed Sheffield United 5-0, so they both kept pace. They're a couple points behind Tottenham. With Tottenham now 8 wins, 2 draws in their first 10 games under new manager Big Ange Postecoglou, who's turning into a worldwide sensation. Fonzie,
everyone loves him, Timmy.
Fonzie Henry Winkler is sending him signed posters. He is talking about how Tottenham. Most teams want to turn their stadiums into a fortress. Apparently, Tottenham is turning their stadium into a dance club, because everybody, after they win, they're all dancing. They're all having a great time. The music's jamming. They're on the field. The players are all waving their arms around, having a great time. You know what? I'm not going to sit here and say Tottenham's going to win the league, because I still don't think they will.
Even though they're in first?
I'm enjoying the ride, brother. Because last year was miserable. They had 4 managers last year. Then it was Conte and Mourinho before that, and that idiot Nuno before that. It's been miserable. As the song goes, brother, we've got our Tottenham back. They were playing aggressive. We're playing offensive. Okay. We're pressing. We're scoring goals. Thank you very much.
Wow, the excitement.
We've got our Tottenham back.
The excitement never ends. I know.
And we're playing Chelsea on Monday. Next Monday, brother. That's Pochettino, the former Tottenham manager, who's now managing Chelsea. Do we have to go to a bar
to watch this?
No, I won't be here, brother. I'll be.
That's right.
I'll be on the phone for that one.
Oh, that's right. Anyway, you've been listening to From the Press Box right here on 90.3 WHPC. My name is Rob Leonard. He is Tim Leonard, and our weather forecast. Powered by Does Bagels, with locations in Garden City Park, Freeport, Levittown, and coming soon to 7th Street in Garden City. This afternoon, it's going to be cloudy, and cloudy. Low about 55 or high about 63, however you want to look at it. Tonight, it's going to be cloudy and more cloudy. Low about 45. Anyway, outside the studios here at Nassau Community College, it is 58 degrees. Coming up next, they call him Big Ed for many reasons. Find out why with Good Gold coming up next. Take care and bye-bye.